when life gets hard, don't run away from the one thing that can really save you. When life starts to life, go to God, regardless of however that looks for you. If it's just praying maybe like once a day or twice a day and like once again the other day, or reading one page of your Bible, just don't leave God out of that equation when you're going through something tough.
What's good, everybody? Welcome back to the More Purpose Podcast,
where we talk everything from faith to finances.
I'm your host, Clarence.
And your co-host, Marlon.
And we have a returning guest who is special to us, you know what I'm saying? You know she gang. Y'all loved their episode with her and her two friends, my cousin, my girlfriend, you know what I'm saying? They got lit on that episode. If you ain't watched it already, go watch it. But we have Miss Lauryn Freeman on the episode. Welcome back.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Hi, guys.
And y'all loved their episode so much, we decided to get the Bible historian back up here. My fault, that's too much pressure.
Oh.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Yep.
She's not a Bible historian yet. We're going to say yet.
That's him.
But
yeah.
They have some, hey, listen. They have some good insight because of the Bible, good perspectives. But we're just going to really have a regular conversation. There's no set topic yet, but we just let the conversation flow. But while we was talking before the camera started, we were talking about idols to the point where Ron told us to stop talking and say it for the camera. So, as we were saying with idols and everything, or for those that don't know what an idol is, can y'all explain what an idol is real quick? Whoever feels led to.
You pointed at me.
No, I was saying, would you like to go?
No, you go first.
I feel like a idol is anything that's taking your time away that you could be using for God, or anything that's taking up that space in your mind, honestly.
Got you. And why do y'all think it's not good to have an idol other than God? Or what does the word say?
I mean, ultimately, you're worshiping that idol. So, like she said, so the worship that's supposed to be going to God is going to that thing, that person, or, you know what I'm saying, whatever it is. And worship is not just, okay, I'm lifting my hands and I'm worshiping, but worshiping is with your time, like your actions, all of that stuff. So,
and our word says that our God's a jealous God. So,
Facts.
in saying that, it be times where, we're all human and everything, but it be times where I'll personally feel disconnected, or I'll feel like, dang, I haven't read my word in a minute, or I haven't talked to God and prayed in a minute. And then I have to backtrack and be like, what have I put in God's place?
Facts.
And then I'll realize, hold on, I've been playing the game a lot. Like, to the point where, like, think about back in middle school, where you would not want to wake up early for no school. You would not want to wake up early for nothing else. But as soon as you be like, your friends on the game, it's no hesitation for me.
oh, yeah.
I was up. I was ready to go. But when it comes to waking up early to read your Bible,
Can't get up.
I need the same.
can't,
Where's the same
yeah.
urgency? Why we press the snooze? You feel me? So in a way, the game became an idol for me back then.
Yeah.
But that's just a prime example of one thing that can become an idol. But an idol, like you said, is anything that can come in the way or in God's place or where He's supposed to be at.
Yeah.
So someone may be involved with, instead of reading their Bible or talking to God, they're obsessed with sports. They're obsessed with their relationships. Do you have any other examples of what y'all think can also be idols for someone else that may be watching? Or for someone else to think on?
I would definitely say money. And I feel like that's something that people don't directly look at as an idol, because in their head, they're like, oh, I need this to live. So I need to, give it all my time. I need to give it all my attention. But I kind of fell into that, like, myself when I was, I would say last year when I was in college. Well, when I was on campus. And I was so, like, money hungry. I found myself working on Sundays, working on Sunday mornings, and now I'm putting my shifts before church. And now I'm like, okay, now I was at the point where I was like, why am I so drained throughout the week?
Yeah.
Because I didn't have that recharge that church usually gives me. So I'm like, okay, now I'm putting my job before Christ. And it's not directly just my job, because it was Buffalo Wild Wings, come on. But it was money. Like, it was the money that I was getting. I was like, I want my paychecks bigger. So now I want to work all 7 days instead of taking that day off for Christ and just working
Sabbath.
6.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I would say money is something that this generation idolizes mindlessly. So,
You have something to say real quick?
And I was just going to add to it and say, I agree with money. Bless you, too. But also, I think your career or your, you can idolize your gift, too. Like back when we were talking about the past episode, you can idolize your gift and stuff like that. So I think that's
good.
Both of those are facts. And I feel like both of those may be like the main ones that people idolize, work, like career and money. And I feel like another one that people don't realize they can't idolize is friendships and relationships.
Yeah.
I started thinking about it. I was like, it was a time recently where I was idolizing my friendships where I wanted to hang out every weekend with my friends. I wanted to play the game. I wanted to go out to this place. I want to go bowling, whatever it is. But then I realized that me always going out, always hanging out late at night with them, and us having fun led to me not having my same Bible studies at nighttime with God.
Yeah.
Me not having my same set aside time for God, and to one point of it being a non-negotiable for me to make sure I'm in my word in the morning or at nighttime became I started making excuses for it. Oh, I'm too tired. I'll do it in the morning, but then I won't wake up in the morning, or I got home too late. I'll get to it like another time, or I'm home now, but I'm gonna hop on the game instead of reading my word. You'll start making excuses and be like, "Nah, this is the reason why I didn't read my word," and it'll just keep going, same cycle, and in doing that, it's very dangerous because then you'll start realizing how your life will start transitioning because, like you said, you're not connecting, you're not recharging, you're not connected to the divine, and you're not getting poured back into what you need to get poured into so you can pour out and impact other people.
Yeah.
So then you'll start realizing that your fruit isn't good fruit anymore. So then people asking you for help, you can't even fully help to the fullest extent because you're not poured into the way that you need to be poured into because you started putting other things in God's place.
Facts. I would say one thing that this literally just came to me as you was talking. One thing that I've been idolizing a lot recently is free time. I would wake up in the morning and I'm like, well, if I read my Bible now, then I don't have to read my Bible later when I get off work, and I can watch my show. I can like yes, I'm like I feel like
that's
in
real
this,
though.
Yeah, like in this era where self-care is so big, I feel like we idolize having free time and we look at stuff like Bible studies and like reading our Bibles and prayer calls is something like a chore versus something that should be our free time because that's what's like you feel me? Like me watching Shameless is not going to recharge me the way that reading my Bible would. So I feel like people idolize free time a lot more than we should, but we don't think about it because we're like, oh, I'm still taking care of myself, or like I'm still like, you know, like pouring back into myself. But what are you pouring back into? Like, what are you using to pour back into yourself?
Good. Why do you feel like as Christians you can go on a fire streak of I'm excited to read my Bible and everything to I don't know why, but every time I open my Bible, all of a sudden get tired. I get pissed off when I start reading my Bible. I just start yawning out of nowhere. I won't yawn playing the game, but now I'm reading my Bible. I start yawning. Now my eyes want to get all watery. I'm tired all of a sudden. Like, what do y'all think that is?
Well, first and foremost, something that I've experienced is that personally, speaking from experience, you're not going to always have the motivation or fire to read the Bible.
Yeah, that's facts.
That's the problem because you're relying on a feeling. So when that feeling is gone, I no longer want to read it. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like for me, those days where I don't feel the fire, I know that God is requiring me to reach a new level of strength and go deeper because it takes way more effort to open it. It takes way more effort to pray because I don't feel like praying. I don't feel like reading, but I know I need to do it. And those are the reps that are making you stronger. The reps that make you stronger in the weight room are when you're tired, not the ones where you can just knock them out. It's those reps where your arms are worn down. Those reps when, okay, this the last down and back. I know we just ran 10 of them, but it's the last one.
Do it.
Those reps are where strength is gained and stuff like that. So just trying to push through that, and also just knowing that when you tap into that, when you do it when you are weak and when you do it when you don't feel like it, is when you get the most from it. Whenever I tapped into the Bible, I didn't want to read, but I opened it, I got exactly what I needed. You know what I'm saying? Like for that situation or for whatever I was going through, God spoke directly to me. And right after I was done, I'm like, I'm glad I opened it. You know what I'm saying? So and I feel like also I think we only make excuses for stuff in pertains to God. When it's money on the table, we hop up. When it's opportunity on the table, we hop up. When it's a outing to go with our friends, we hop right up. Then when it comes to church, it's a choice. When it comes to reading our Bible, it's a choice. When we come to praying, it's an option. You know what I'm saying? But we don't do that with anything else but God. And he's our creator. So, okay, I'm going to give him half of me, and I'm giving everybody else 100% of me. I'm giving my friend 100% of me. My girlfriend get 100% of me. My parents get 100% of me. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, my job get 100% of me. I don't miss no shifts. I'm always there. And then when it come to God, it's like he getting 50%. I do when I feel like it. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
So
that's crazy because that's facts. Like, we really do treat God like a second option. Like God, I'll get to you when I need you.
Yeah. And I think one thing about a second option, like how you said, you'll get to it when you need it. The second option, you only choose that when you crave that. So what I mean by that is, so if I love Chick-fil-A, I always use this example. If I love Chick-fil-A, And then my second favorite place to go to is America's Best Wings. The first thing on my mind is Chick-fil-A. I will only choose America's Best when I crave it. So it's like Chick-fil-A has priority. So whenever I'm hungry, I'm going to Chick-fil-A. I'm going to Chick-fil-A. Now, the once in a blue moon, I crave America's Best. Then I go to America's Best. But the problem with God is we're not supposed to just come to God when we crave it. You know what I'm saying? But you get what I'm saying? Like, it shouldn't be okay, God, I want you today. Okay, no, you should want me all. You should want me all the time. I should be number one, not just every blue moon I go eat America's Best. No, you should want to eat me every day.
And I like that you said the Chick-fil-A aspect because it feels like every time on Sundays, because Chick-fil-A is off on Sundays, but it feels like every time on Sundays is when you want Chick-fil-A the most.
You want Chick-fil-A the most.
So it should be like that with God. When you know that I haven't read my Bible today, that's when I should have the urge of God, I need you right now type vibe. Like, it shouldn't be no, like picking and choosing friends or God. There's not a contest here.
No cap.
Kind of like what y'all said that God is being like a second choice. Like, we put him on the back burner a lot. I feel like that like also comes from a lot of Christians when they feel like life is going good, they don't really need to pray, or like they don't really need to journal, or they don't still need to like be in their Bible. And that's something that I talk about on my TikTok a lot, because I feel like a lot of people, they're like, oh, well, Christians think they're so perfect. Like, Christians are, this, that, and third. If we were perfect, we wouldn't need God. I'm like, we're with God because we're struggling. And like, I think it's crazy how we only want him when we not only crave him, but when we need him. Like, when I'm down bad, like I'm crying or I'm hurt or whatever, I don't really want to go to nothing else. Like, I want to go to God because I know that he's going to pull me out, but he should be my first option even before I even get to that point. Like, I shouldn't even let myself get that down bad without having God being my first choice. So,
That is kind of ironic that it's kind of ironic that when you have nothing, you go to God.
When you
have
have
everything, you don't go to God.
You go to everything else that God has blessed you with. But when it's time for you to, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy, bro. That's crazy.
That's crazy. It's like he blessed you with a job, and now you out spending that paycheck versus actually thanking him and like spending that time in his presence because of what he just given you. And it's like whenever we lose it all, that's when we need that re-up. Like, that's when we like, all right, God, fill me back up. And once we feel, now we hitting up all of our friends, let's go here, instead of really sitting in God's presence and really giving him that reverence that he deserves and thanking him for what he just did for us.
I think mainly, I think it's a foundation issue. I think that's the biggest thing as becoming a Christian, is because a lot of people come into Christianity, fall in love with his hand. So fall in love with what he can give you. So I fell in love with God because he gave me a car, because he made a way, he gave me a job. That was the reason I love God. So eventually, as time goes on, I didn't fall in love with his heart. I didn't fall in love with his qualities. So as life happens, I drift away from that because I fell in love with just his hand and not the body himself, not the heart himself, not the mind himself. So it's a foundation issue, because you got to go back and check, okay, I need to love God for who he is.
Facts.
And what he's done. And that's why I love that you said on the previous episode that you're reading the gospel, because you're learning about God and who he is and what he's done. When you learn what he's done for you, it makes it so much easier to love him, you know what I'm saying? Because he first loved us. So I think that it's definitely a foundation issue. If you find yourself in situations where you only pray, you only read when stuff is going good for you, you need to backtrack and fully question your relationship with God. Like, do I fully know him, or do I just know what he can do for me? You know,
literally, like Cain and Abel. Like, I feel like this is like my 5th time telling this, like kind of breaking this down. But literally, like, as soon as Cain didn't get what he wanted, or he didn't get the response from God that he thought he was going to get, he automatically fell into disappointment, which led to sin, which led to all that. So I feel like when people do fall in love with God's hand versus actually getting to know him and building that relationship, then they often fall short, because y'all are living in expectation 24/7. I mean, we are supposed to live in expectation, but at the end of the day, when we don't get what we're asking for all the time, we're still supposed to love God regardless of what he gives us. So
I feel like that comes from us having the mindset of, God, give me, versus what can I give you, Lord? How can I serve you? What can I sacrifice? What can I do more to really please you and put a smile on your face? And tying back into what you said beforehand about how people will get blessed and then start getting our attention to everything else that we just got blessed with, instead of the person that gave it to us in the first place.
Facts.
Do y'all feel like that'd be a test in reality?
Yes.
Because every time you'll get the stuff, and then out of nowhere, it'll be gone. And now you're right back to where you started from.
Abraham, I blessed you with a son. Now give it back to me. I want to see will you give it back to me, you know? Same thing.
You can't just speak past that. That was all right.
Cause like in those situations, I feel like it'd be God really just testing us as far as like, all right, cool, you've been working hard. I'm gonna give you a bone. I'm gonna throw you a bone real quick.
I'm gonna throw you a bone.
Like, how you gonna react? Are you gonna lose your mind? You gonna start wilding out? You gonna start splurging? You gonna start living above your means? You gonna stop stewarding what I already gave you. You gonna forget your mindset. You gonna forget the principles I already taught you from when you was down low and down bad.
Yeah.
Man.
Like the principles the same penny pitching principles you had when you had $0. Where did that go once you started having $100 in your pocket?
And that's the thing.
Where did $100 go?
That's the thing though, because the reason people are afraid or can't let go of what's in their hand and give it to God is because they don't believe that He can make better out of it. And that's just a trust. That's just a trust issue. So meaning I don't pay my tithes because I'm looking from a small point of view, and I don't believe that you can give me back tenfold. You know what I'm saying? Of what I'm giving you and what I owe you. That's yours. You know what I'm saying?
Mine
So it's like that's ultimately what it is. It's just a trust thing. It's you telling yourself, or you may not be saying it out loud, but I'm telling God, I don't trust you can do more with this than I can. So let me keep it. I don't want to give it to you.
Man,
that's wild.
I feel like that is one thing that people in this generation really don't understand, that we're not up here. Like, we're not so deserving, or we're not these good, righteous people. I'm like, we honestly don't deserve anything. I mean, if we're just keeping it a buck, coming from God, we don't deserve anything. And I feel like that's where my genuine love for God grew, because my prayers did shift. And I started asking God, what can I do to even begin to repay you for everything that you've done? And once the Holy Spirit literally in that same sentence told me nothing, I said, this makes me love you even more, because you've given me something that I can't even pay back. You've done all this for me, and you know that I can't, like fully repay that gift that you've given me. So now that just makes me want to work overtime to just do things out of respect for you and to just make you happy and give glory to your name. And I feel like us is like, especially this young generation, we're like, oh, well, I worked for this and I deserve this. Yeah, you work 40 hours, but like, imagine how many hours God worked for you. Like, imagine what God has really done. Overtime.
Yeah,
he
overtime.
was working overtime, building your life before anyone even knew you, before your mom even knew she was pregnant.
Yeah,
like,
literally.
He knew who you were. He knew what you were gonna do. He knew what your gifts were gonna be. And now you're like, oh, well, this is my money, and I'm not going to give it back to the church because of whatever fleshly reasons that you have. It's not about you giving directly back to the church. It's about you giving back to God. And I don't think people understand that. Like, you're not giving back to the preacher that you see up there, or you're not giving back to these ladies that you're sitting next to. You're giving back to the kingdom of God. And I think that's the whole, like, that's where people get that confused. Like, oh, well, this is mine. Says who? Who?
Yeah.
No, that's not how that goes.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead.
All right. Just going off of what you just said about learning more about God and everything, like we talked about in a previous episode about how we started the Gospels and everything, and just reading. I had skipped. Matter of fact, one Bible study I had read about Jesus when he was about to get crucified. Now everybody was calling him names, spitting on him, beating him down, all that. It really break my heart every time I read it. But how they was mocking him, and the one thing Jesus said was, it said that Jesus remained silent, and it resonated with me so much, because it's like, dang, like Jesus remained silent. Then when he was on the cross, he said, "God forgive them, for they do not know what they do." In the Christian community, do y'all feel like as a whole we respond to backlash, negative comments, or disagreements in the right way? I feel like if Jesus is responding in either silence, or God still love them because they don't know what they're doing, or God love them regardless of what they're doing to me, do you feel like as a Christian community we uphold that standard?
I feel like it's half and half. I feel like half of us are trying to live up to who Jesus, not who he was, but the example that he, put out for us. And I do feel like there are those types of Christians who kind of still live their own life, but since they put a Christian on top of that, they're like, oh, well, I'm good. Like, they feel like you can still treat people, like in a rude way, or you can you can give back to the people what they give you, but you have to understand, like, just because you're a Christian, that doesn't just give you this safety blanket for you to just treat people any type of way. Like, you still have to respond, like the best that you can. So I feel like it's some Christians who really are trying, and the other ones who kind of take advantage of just being a Christian,
especially when
or
it's
calling
hard.
themselves a Christian.
Especially when it's hard, because there is a lot of us that have that Peter, personality and everything, that's ready to go to war for any and everybody that we love, family, friends, all that. But then there's also, even when seeing how Peter was, you see how Jesus said, yo, relax.
Chill out. Even though, like, you
Cool
doing
out.
this for me.
You doing it for
chill
me,
out.
cool out.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
chill.
saying? But in that, the grace that Jesus had for other people, like the love and the defense he had for people that still was going against him. How can we as a community get better at that? Especially for people that's watching, people that's new in faith, people that have a past of anger and lashing out, or just having a fighter's mentality, swing first, ask questions later type vibe. Like, how can we better help lead them into a more compassionate, graceful, and different perspective mindset as far as how to love people the right way, regardless if they're loving you back or not?
I think it's simple. I think the more you come to know Jesus, the more you will take on his qualities. You know what I'm saying? The same way we talked about abiding in him, and we will be fruitful. But I think personally, because you would know who is the real disciples of God by how they love.
That's facts.
Not by their works,
That's
not by
facts.
their title, not by their platform. Because honestly, speaking from my behalf, I think the Christian community has done a terrible job with representing us. But like she said, we're not gonna say everybody.
Yeah.
There are a small handful of people that truly like try to respond like God and love like God. But if you actually sit and think about it, Christians be in the most stuff.
Yes,
The
bro. It be
most
blowing my
stuff.
mind.
I think Christianity is the only religion where we see people in the same religion attacking each other. From what I've seen, especially the black church. That's just me personally.
For
I don't
sure.
see that with nobody else. I don't see that with Muslims. I don't see that
Calling
with
everybody out.
Yeah, only Christians fight each other, and that goes to show me who has a real relationship with God. Because if you can't love, you're not one of His. I'm telling you, you're not.
That's facts.
I'm telling you, not. You can do everything right. You can preach. You can have a title. You can do all these different things. But if you can't love somebody else, you're not the one.
That's really crazy because now I think about it, like, that's wild. Why is there like a Christian shade room? Like, what is the purpose?
Yeah.
Like, what is the purpose? But like there's literally a page of gossip, a page of it's supposed to be church news, or
And why would you want to do that?
why would you willingly want to post this person what they got going on?
Why?
Unless it's like physically harming somebody and something crazy.
But being messy, like nah,
being
come
messy
on, bro.
and trying to like in somebody's life or in their character or whatever off of something that could have been a mistake.
That ain't love.
Anything like instead of responding in love or showing the right people how to move. You have especially with a big following.
And I think it's a difference between like being messy and actually holding people accountable. So
Yes,
like
bro.
when they mess up, okay, yes, we're supposed to hold them accountable. But I think when people are being messy about it or anything like that, they're just throwing stones. But it's a way to correct people, other Christians, when they are wrong.
What do y'all feel like is the right way to correct other Christians that may fall short, that may mess up, that may be going down the wrong path the way they're supposed to be going? What do y'all feel like is the right way to help enlighten them on, yo, you're going down the wrong path, let me look back over this way real quick, make sure you following God's orders, or make sure you praying, make sure you staying connected, whatever it is?
Honestly, I feel like first and foremost, like before you give them any type of direction or instruction or whatever, I feel like you have to have that like heart check. Because I had an old like yes, like it was an old friend of mine, and I actually helped him like get on this journey, and he was deep, but we stopped like talking for a while, and we like started talking again. So I'm like, hey, like, are you like still, blah blah blah, and he's like, nah, like I haven't been reading my Bible lately. So I'm like, oh, okay, cool. But I'm still like, letting him kind of ease back into it. But I'm still like planting my seeds. Like I'm like, hey, like I just read my Bible today. How you feeling? Like, do you want to open up yours? Like, yeah,
a little subtle way.
Yeah, but then it got to a point, maybe like 5 days after, and I'm like, do you even want to still live? Like, like, do you still love God? Like, do you ever see yourself still living for God the way that you was before? And he straight up told me, no, I don't. Like, he said, I don't ever see myself being that close to God again. And that was out of a choice. So as soon as he told me that it was his will for himself to like willingly not go right, I can't force that.
Yeah.
So I feel like we have to check their heart before we even try to lead them back. Because if we try to leave like an unwilling person back, I feel like that's just gonna make them not like it even more.
More defensive.
Yeah, like they're gonna be like, see, like she's trying to push all that Christian stuff on me. Versus if he was open to it, he's like, oh, so she's actually trying to lead me down the right path. Once I heard that was when I was just like,
got you.
yeah, like I was like, okay, I hear you. Like, because I'm not about to force God on. I'm not in the converting business. Like, I'm not about to force God on anybody. Like, I feel like us as Christian like content creators, our main thing is we not preach. We speak to listening ears. I'm not about to like badger somebody to listen to what this has to say, because like that's the reason why we have like free will in the first place. God wants us to willingly choose him. He doesn't. If he wanted us to just be yes men, then all of us would have just been robots. But he gave us this free will so we could choose him in a world that's not like him. Like, he gave us this free will so we can love him in a world that doesn't love him.
You're talking good, love.
Okay.
Sorry.
In saying that, I'm trying to figure out the right way to word this.
Word it any way you like, Clarence. Word it any way you like.
I like how you said that we're not in the converting business at all. Like we're not. I'm not gonna convince you of nothing. Like, but I do know that I'm one of those. I feel like we all are in a way. I'm one of those where if my words not gonna do it, my actions will.
Facts.
So it's like, yeah, cause like again, talk is cheap. I can tell you everything I know, but at the same time, some people have to see it. Some people just like that. Some people don't have the faith to be able to willingly follow what you're talking about, and they haven't seen nothing yet. So it takes more. It takes them to see how God's working in your life. So that's always been a prayer, like for as many years as I can count right now. That's always been a prayer for me as far as, all right, God, I know a lot of my friends don't really believe in you. They have some type of belief. They believe in a higher power, whatever it is, but they don't believe in you. So God bless me enough for them to be able to see your work in me. So so it's like undeniable that you're real.
Facts.
And it'll get to the point where people be like, bro, like random people that I'm cool with or I know of, they'll come to me and be like, hey, bro, I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. Like everything you're doing right now made me believe in God. Matter of fact, I told Marlon we had went to go hoop. So every Tuesday we've been hooping and everything. And we pulled up to the hoopage, and one of my boys, I don't talk to him like that, but he I know him since high school. And he went to another school in the city, whatever. He came to me right as soon as I walked in. He said, hey, bro, I love what you and your brother been doing. And real talk, you and your brother made me believe in God.
That's what's up.
But we don't talk.
Yeah.
But see, it's actions. It's like he's seeing what God's doing in our lives. He's seeing how well we speak about God, how our relationship just represents him, and how much we love and care for people. It made him feel so welcome and so understandable of how we act. It made him start believing in God just off of our actions.
Facts.
And it's important for us to not just be the person of, oh, if you don't believe in God, you're going to hell. No, come on, bro. Like,
because it's like at the end of the day, our God is a God of few words.
Okay.
God is going to show you before he says anything. So I feel like if we are not trying to be like God, but if we're trying to live up to the example of Jesus,
The standard.
yeah, like we have to just show by actions. Like, yeah, because words talk is very cheap. Like I could like tell you to be nice, and then I can go be rude
mean.
to somebody
Yeah.
like 5 minutes later. So I feel like us being nice and us showing that we can still love in situations that cause us hurt, people like others are like, dang, I want to be like that, or like I want to learn how to forgive people like that. And
Your actions is what makes your words credible.
yeah. There you go, brother.
Definitely. Nah, definitely.
There you go, brother. There you go. I feel like
That's definitely.
oh, do you want
No, you good.
this is something like recent. Like I mean, what's today? Like 2 days ago, and I was really struggling with like forgiveness. Right. Well, still am. And I was having this conversation with God, and I was like, God, like when I've forgiven these people that hurt me in the past, I needed space. Like I was like, I feel like people aren't giving me my space that I need to forgive this person or whatever. That's when the Holy Spirit told me loud and clear, Jesus forgave his enemies in his face. What makes you think you need space to forgive somebody? And I was like,
Hey, boy.
he was at
I said, okay.
he was at the table. He was at the table. Knew Judas was gonna betray him.
Kissed him.
Washed his feet.
Broke bread with him.
Washed his feet.
Bro, Jesus was on the cross, looked like face to face. And the first thing he said out of his mouth was, forgive them, Father, for they don't know what they're doing. And that's when it hit me. Like, that's when I had to start holding myself accountable. Like I feel like us as Christians, we have to hold ourselves to that standard before we hold anyone else to that standard. So, y'all, that was the most silent car ride, because I'm sitting there thinking, I was like, and I can't say that I'm struggling because I never did this before. No, God put me in that situation to forgive my enemies in my face before. I was just being disobedient. I was like, so now, all right, it's time to change the tune. Now I have to learn how to forgive my enemies while they're still right here. They're in my circle. I can't run because I was like, I hear you loud and clear.
Loud and clear.
loud and clear.
I think that's another misconception of forgiveness. Like, there will be people that are unintentionally holding grudges and won't realize, and they'll ask the question of, God, why do you feel so far? Or God, why are you not answering this prayer? Or I've been praying for this, but it still hasn't came yet. What's going on? What's happening? Not realizing that their forgiveness is blocking their blessing.
Bro.
So I think it's in Colossians where it says you must forgive others. Like, you ask me forgiveness and I forgive you every time, but in order to get real forgiveness from me, you must forgive the other person that you're holding a grudge with.
Facts.
So it's like, until we have the heart posture to before we even like, yeah, you must repent, all that. But before I ask God for forgiveness, who am I holding a grudge with?
Who am I?
Cause your ask for God might not be valid until you handle the situation over here.
And it's like when you're really close to Christ, you like realize that you're not producing good fruit anymore. Like when you are holding those grudges, or when you're not loving your brother or your sister the way that you're supposed to, you start to have those like little realization moments. You're like, I've been real irritable lately, or like I've been like getting very annoyed real fast. And I think that was what kind of made me, like, I sat down in my car and I was driving home. I was like, all right, God, what is it? I said, because I haven't felt like this in a long time. And that's when he was just like, you think you need this, but you really need, and it's, bro, sorry, but it's like, I feel like a lot of times as Christians, we're like, I don't know what to do, and God is like, well, Jesus, they're like, look at this, like he
game plan right here, brother.
He literally told us what to do in every single situation, like in order of forgiveness, betrayal, hurt. He has went through it all. So I'm like, if we're ever confused, we're not confused. I think whatever we're feeling, whatever spirit is hindering us from actually like listening to what God is telling us, we can't hear our spirit. We're not confused. We're just not listening.
Yeah.
God is always talking to us. But I feel like whatever we're going through, whatever we're holding on to, is literally blocking that communication line.
So, I think it's crazy that you said you needed space. And Jesus didn't get no space. He was around
Jesus
the whole
got
time.
no voluntarily.
He knew from the beginning.
From the jump.
And people forget that Jesus, of course, he's 100% God nature, but he was also 100% human. So he still felt what we felt.
He was still hurting.
He was still people look at the God feature and think like, oh, he was God. Of course he could forgive.
Like,
of course he could forgive. Like he didn't feel no offense. Like yes, he did.
I'm like, Jesus wept.
That was the whole purpose.
Even when Lazarus
Jesus
died,
wept
Jesus
a lot.
Yeah. That was the whole that's the whole purpose, so that he can feel every feeling that we feel, so that we don't have no excuse, because he felt that.
Y'all,
No excuse.
We don't have no excuse.
Hands in the air.
I have no excuse not to love nobody.
I try to find every single excuse. I was
We
like,
don't
There is none. There is none.
That's
We
when
don't
he's
have
like,
one.
look at me. I was wearing that look at me. I was wearing that what would Jesus do bracelet for so long, and I was in the car. What I do? God's probably looking like,
Come on now.
It's right there, brother.
it's
Come on now.
come on.
Just look to your right.
Your Bible in your car. Just come on. Nah, that's honestly facts. And I think people who don't read the Bible, or people who don't necessarily understand like being a Christian, they don't understand who Jesus was. Well, who Jesus is. They think that he's just even though he is superior, Jesus never treated anyone like he was superior. Like he never treated anyone like they was inferior. I'm like, y'all have to understand, Jesus was a human as well. Like he felt just like we felt, and he talked to people just like how we talk to people. And he had friendships, like he had all these close relationships that he had to go through the same things that we're going through now. And we're just like, I don't know what to do. We do.
Bro, do you know the type of heart posture you have to have, the type of awareness and the type of it's bigger than me mindset you have to be able to sit at a table with someone that's asking you to your face, Jesus, is it going to be me to betray you? Knowing I know it's you.
Yeah.
Like
I know it's you.
That story is not funny, but it's
I
just
know
like
it's you.
it's just like looking at it in like modern day times. Like they're like, Jesus, is it me? He's like,
Come on now.
That's actually one of the greatest stories.
yes, he's like the one whose hand is in the bowl. I bet you was like,
he tried to get some chips. He tried to get some chips.
he like,
Who, me?
Drop that chip.
wait, is this smoke? Like, is this me, bro?
No, that's crazy.
That joke is so funny.
And in saying that, though, like, for him to be able to sit at the table with his enemy, knowing that he's going to betray him and still love him, for him to know Judas is coming with the police, basically, in my terms, to come arrest him, and for him to come up to Jesus and kiss him.
And like he could have ran, but he
He
didn't.
should have fired.
And
My flesh would have told
look,
me fire.
and Jesus let him kiss him.
Let
on
him.
top of that. And all Jesus said was, do what you came to do.
Hurry up, get it over with, bro.
Hurry up.
Hurry up.
Hurry up.
Hurry up.
Do what you
I already
came
don't
to
want to do it. Just come on.
do what you came to do.
But that's crazy.
Imagine if we could do that. Imagine in our lives if we had that same mentality. If we could hug the person we knew that was talking behind our back. If we can love on the person that we knew slined us out.
It's
Yeah, that's greasy.
but I think people fail to realize
That's crazy.
every single problem we have goes right to trust. Every single problem. Every
facts.
single problem we have goes in trust, because I don't trust you enough to think you're going to take vengeance. So I got to do it in my own control. So I have to take matters to my own hands, God, because I don't trust you. God, they did me wrong. So I'm going to go do
Take
what I
my
got to do,
hands,
because I
yeah.
know you're not going to get them right. You're not going to get them how I think,
Yeah.
how I want to get
How I need you to get 'em.
them. But God's vengeance is way better.
Like,
than
God,
yours.
strike them down.
Wait, like now.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I forgot where it's at, but it was saying how if your enemy wants something to eat or to drink, invite him into your house and give him
Yeah.
that. It said in doing so, and I'm just in layman's terms, it said in doing so, you will burn heaps of hot coal on their heads. So meaning you being nice to them, it's making them feel bad. Meaning I feel guilty because now it's like I treated you like this, and you're treating me like Jesus did.
Like, why did I treat you bad?
So now I'm seeing Jesus in you, but people don't look at it like that. They find it hard to be nice to people that have did this to them. And I find it easy. Me personally, I find it easy only because Jesus did it, of course. And the closer I get to him, I don't want to ask him for stuff I can't give out to other people. You know what I'm saying?
That's facts.
I don't want to keep asking you for forgiveness, grace, mercy, and I can't extend that to other people because we gotta. Well, like what I'm learning is now is that we be so hurt by the offense that we don't look at the heart of that person. We don't look at the soul. That we gotta look past the. No, it's the face.
Yeah.
But and you know,
you
so
look
look,
past that.
You have to put a face beside the offense.
Listen, but listen, that's the problem. But look, that's the problem. Actually, put it into perspective. We can't forgive because we look at the face, not looking at the heart. It's spirits and all types of stuff. So look, what did Jesus come to do? Jesus came to paint his blood over us because if Jesus didn't come, God would have seen us and seen our face. Then he would have had to send us to hell. So Jesus had to come, die on the cross so that he can paint over us. So now when God looks at us, he sees his son. So every time we look at other people and they offend us, we need to be seeing that's a soul.
Yeah. Facts.
That's Jesus's child.
That's a spirit. That's
a spirit. You know what I'm saying? Like that ain't that the face I'm seeing that may have offended me, that ain't them. You know what I'm saying? So I need to pray. I need to do this.
Man.
That goes back to zooming out.
Yeah.
Looking beyond the person that hurt you. Because maturity will show you, all right, this person said this about me, or this person has reacted this way towards me, but bring me out of the equation.
Yeah, take
me out of the equation. What could have happened behind closed doors before they even got to where I was for me to receive that type of backlash? What could be going on at home to be the reason why they had that irritation? What could be going on in their own personal life that could be the reason why they might have an envy towards what I have going on in my life?
But we're not fighting against flesh and blood enemies.
Bro, it's literally spiritual.
Once you change your perspective from thinking, this person just don't like me just because, it's not them.
It's not them.
It's just the spirit. The spirit's not agreeing. Man. So now you pray for you know what I'm saying, pray against the spirit. Because you can't win the war with your hands. So somebody talking about you, somebody speaking on you, somebody doing whatever to you, and you keep saying, oh, I'm going to get revenge, or I'm going to do this, or I'm going to do this back. It's like, okay, you're not making it any better.
You're making it worse.
Yeah.
That's the thing,
putting fire with fire ain't gonna make less fire.
Yeah,
fire's gonna seem. Sorry, bro. It's like I feel like just having this like actual topic. I feel like the devil thinks he sends a lot of our enemies. Like, why do I feel like the enemy feel like he sent Judas when in all reality that was like a part of God's plan? Kind of like with like Joseph, how when the enemy probably thought, oh yeah, sending him into this and he gonna be done for. Whole time that was all a part of God's plan.
Same thing with Adam and Eve.
Same thing with Adam and Eve. So it's like I feel like the devil sends you people thinking that he's sending you to your defeat, but like in all reality he's sending you to your God dang it, it was good. It was good. The enemy thinks he's sending you to your defeat, but in all reality, he's sending you to your delivery and he's sending you to your actual, like, destiny. You feel me? Because, like, I guarantee you, as soon as Judas even kissed Jesus, I feel like the devil was somewhere. He like, I got him.
Shame.
He like, I got him. He didn't know. He's about to rise up.
Yeah.
Give him, like, 5 days. Give him, like, 5 days and he's good. That's honestly crazy.
Nah. So even, like, think about it that way. I hope somebody got blessed by that part, like that whole little segment right there, because it's a lot of people that are harboring unforgiveness or like secret grudges on people that hurt them in a way, but not realizing that their hurt that they caused you wasn't really intentional or wasn't intended for you. You was just at the wrong place at the wrong time. You just caught the backlash of what may be going on in their life or in them spiritually.
Yeah.
And that's facts. Like, it's very real. Like, people can be dealing with spirits that you don't know about, but that's why you need to be in your word. And have the discernment and the love and the heart posture to know who Jesus is, so you can respond to those spirits, so you can know what it is and call it out and help pray for your friend, family member, or someone that's random across the street that you just ran into that could have had a bad attitude, whatever it is. Like, it takes nothing to be kind to nobody, bro.
And the greatest test of love is not loving somebody that loves you back.
Exactly.
It's loving somebody that don't love you. That's the greatest test of love. I don't see. Well, you can see Jesus through loving other people that love you, but I see Jesus even more when you love somebody that I know personally don't like you or you don't like them, and you love them
You know how
That's
fulfilling
why
that,
I see Jesus.
You know how fulfilling that is.
That's when I feel like closest to him.
That's
Yeah.
what. That's what.
Because it's like
Jesus.
I'm like actually doing what he did. I mean, not
Yes,
on
bro.
that
Yeah.
scale, but when I'm treating people the way that he treated people, even though they don't like me or they want nothing to, like, and they're throwing tomatoes or doing all this, that's when I feel the closest to Christ. Because I'm like, I'm actually moving like you. Like, you've given me this opportunity to show how I'm like you, and I pass. Like that feeling, you be like, man.
Nah, no cap.
Yeah.
But one of the simple verses in the Bible is love your neighbor as you love yourself. Or the world knows the golden rule: treat others as you want to be treated. Like, imagine if everybody did that. Imagine if someone did call you out your name or did something wrong to you or rubbed you the wrong way. Imagine if, regardless of what they said to me, I had the mindset of love you as I love myself.
But people don't love themselves.
Hence,
That's why.
hence
but
this whole
that's why they can't.
self-care.
That's why they can't love other people. But everything goes back. Everything be simple solutions.
They-
So
literally
love
simple.
your neighbor as you love yourself. So that means I have to love myself first before I can love somebody else. But in order to love myself first, I gotta love God first because I don't know who I am until I know who
God,
He is.
yeah.
So love God, love myself, then I can go love other people. But people skip steps. They try to do self-love. I'm gonna go to the gym. I'm gonna get my nails done. I'm gonna get my hair done without knowing God, and I'm still struggling to love other people because you're just putting task and different
putting a
life
mask over
things,
it.
a
Facts.
mask over. You're really supposed to find yourself in God, love Him
First.
love yourself, then you can love other people. So
In
if
that
you're
order.
struggling to love other people, then you can't then you're not loving yourself. If you're struggling to love yourself, then you're not loving God. So love God more. That way you can find your true identity. Love yourself, then I can go out and love others.
That is no
In that order, again.
that right there is actually so crazy because it's like I feel like now people are getting their self-love sources from so many things other than God. They get it from these meditation practices, not even knowing what they're really unlocking. So I'm like, I feel like what y'all think y'all are getting y'all self-love from, y'all don't really know what is coming from, like the shadow workbook or like the
Sage.
mirror sage and like all these mirror affirmations. I'm like,
I-
y'all. Yeah, I'm like, y'all really have to be careful because if y'all aren't getting y'all self-love from the actual source of love, then how can you know it's true? How can you know it's like actually genuine or constant? I feel like if you get self-love from anywhere other than the source, then it's just going to run out. Kind of like when Jesus
Facts.
told is it Samaritan or is it Samaritan?
Samaritan.
Samaritan. Okay. When he was telling the lady at the well, he said, if you drink from this water, then you will be thirsty again.
Yeah.
But if you drink from the
Yeah, never.
living water, you would never thirst again. And I feel like people look at that as literally just the water. I'm like, y'all not understanding
no.
what
Hey,
No, no.
he's spitting
Yeah.
bars.
He gave a whole
That's a
life gem.
bar.
that's the blue
Yeah.
right
It's a whole life
there.
gem right
That
there.
is the blueprint. It's
You
like,
won't need none of those.
yes, it's like all of your needs, not your wants, all of your needs. If you're looking for your needs anywhere elsewhere other than me, then you're gonna have to re-up. Then you're gonna have
You're
to
gonna have to
need it
keep-
again.
yeah.
But if you drink from the living word, from the living water, then you will never be thirsty again. And I feel like people take that for granted. They're like, oh, it's just a book, or like I'm just praying. I'm like, y'all don't understand. Praying isn't just an outward thing; it's an inward thing too. Like your spirit is being filled when you pray. Your spirit is being fueled when you read your word. So I just like drink from the water, bro. This water.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
that's that-
water. Yeah,
that
okay.
water right
This
there.
water.
That's the problem because when they go to other things, it's like you're trying to fill a void that only God can
That
fill.
only can be filled by God.
Think about it. No other drink truly hydrates me the way water does.
Facts.
So
Not
you
no
keep trying to
Dr.
fill it
Pepper.
with soda. You know what I'm saying? That's you gonna be
Gatorade.
thirsty
You
again.
think just 'cause it's a sports drink, you gonna be good.
thirsty again. You're gonna be thirsty again. Like come to you know what I'm saying?
Hold on.
What?
Sorry.
No other drink will fulfill you. What did you say? Like
no
water
other
does?
will hydrate you.
We
Like
hydrate you
water.
like water does, right? I like how you said that because it made me think about me personally. If Jesus is the living water,
Okay.
right? Imagine if I'm filling myself with all these other toxins like soda, like alcohol, all these different things. Now I'm getting pimples on my face. Now I'm reacting different. Now I'm over here in the toilet throwing up stuff that's not supposed to be in my body in the first place. All these different things that's in my system or popping up as a response to what I've been putting in myself.
Yeah.
I get.
That's not positive. Now you can see it on me. You can see it in my actions. You can see it in my response to different people. You can see it in my love and how I talk, how I walk. All that. It's all negative. It's all irritated. It's all not love. But when you see that I'm close to Jesus, that I'm drinking his water,
You can see it.
Galatians
you can,
They
see,
be like-
you can see the love in me. You can see the
You
compassion.
glowing. They be
Galatians
like,
Exactly.
you
You glowing. Skin clean.
Now hold on. I'm about to convict every single one of us. Y'all know how they say if you just drink more water, like you'll have more energy throughout the day. You have more of this, more of this. We need to put the Milani's down, brother.
Okay.
I'm like, I'm so busy drinking.
Mine over there somewhere.
I'm like, well, just me personally. I'm like, I get Alani's all the time, when in all reality, if I just get a good night's rest and if I drink more water, I probably wouldn't even be this tired.
Bro,
like, why am I tired at 2 p.m.?
I told Pre, I said, bro, I'm gonna tell Lo, we need to take this whole month off from Alani's.
Hey, listen, y'all do that.
But that's my challenge for this month as
That's
far as
hard,
like
bruh.
doing, like, I'll drink Alani, like, if I really need one, I'll
Yeah,
drink
yeah,
one as far
yeah.
as like if I need to focus up and lock in on some edits and I'm tired already. But as a whole, this whole month, I'm trying to drink straight water. Because, like,
Facts.
back to the example of, like, living water, being close to Jesus and everything.
The
I'm
result
trying to
of
cleanse my body out from every toxin from all these other drinks I've been
Mm-hmm.
drinking, from sodas to juices, everything. It's like, all that is not making my skin clear. It's not making me feel good. Soda's making me feeling sluggish.
Yeah.
All that. So it's like, how about let's stop drinking these energy drinks,
Mm-hmm.
stop crashing,
Facts.
and actually just drink source of water.
Yeah.
Bro.
Get in my word
Get my word.
for the whole month. And actually see, I bet you I'll be able to see a difference in my energy,
Bro.
my compassion, my love, my light will be brighter, all
Yeah.
that.
Clarence, when I tell you, so many people that knew me before, and y'all know what I mean when I say before, so many people that knew me, like, before, I wasn't, like, completely different, but versus how I am now, it's the same thing. Like, to me, it'll just be like a regular video, or like I'll just see people or like whatever, and they're like, you're glowing. Like, it's this, like, you just look happy. I'm like, my circumstances are probably the same, but my binge time is filled with this now. Like, this is like fueling me.
That's
So
good.
now I'm producing something that looks different.
You just changed your drink choice. Talk. You feel me? No, for real. For real. You was filling yourself up with other stuff before, and it
Sprite.
won't doing it. It won't doing it.
Gatorade,
You just changed
body
the water.
armor.
Yeah.
Now it's
Now it's just water.
That's just water.
No cap.
they like, you glowing. I'm like, baby, I'm still eating the same.
It's the water.
I'm still physically eating the same
Yeah.
thing, but I'm drinking from a different faucet. You feel me?
And it also shows that your confidence in God is different too, though.
Oh,
The way you walk out the house will show how much you believe in God.
the way you just walk down the street.
Literally. The way you react to the littlest things will show you how much you believe in God.
This might be a little bit off topic, but when you say your confidence in God, it was his coworker, right? And he was trying to. Well, I think he still is, but he quit. I don't know. But he was really, really trying to get into this. And when I tell y'all, when I'm at work, when I'm not on a call, I'm reading my word. Like, I'm just in it. And he was like, yeah, like, I trust God. But he is one of those dudes I feel like he needs to carry his peace on him everywhere. So I was like, how much do you really trust God? Like, I feel like you're putting your trust in that first before you actually pray. Or like you're putting your trust in something physical versus putting your trust in something that you can't see. And he's like, I mean, like, like, I can't leave the house without it. I'm like, you can just see that there. I can't leave the house without this. Like, in my all honesty, like, I feel my best when I have my Bible on me.
Not for sure.
You feel the most protected when you have your gun on your hip. You got to start looking at how you really, yeah.
There might ain't nothing wrong with having your weapon on you.
Nothing.
But
you got to
that
start
goes back to the idolizing, like,
trusting
who you
it.
trusted more.
Facts.
That was good, love.
No, like, when he said it, he was like, I trust God. Like, nah, like, I trust him with my life. I'm like, are you sure? Because my fault. Sorry.
What do you mean?
Nah, that was good. I really hope. Yeah, we touched on a lot.
Nah, no cat, though.
Topic from topic to topic.
What time we at? I'm gonna say it's only been flying by.
Nah, for real.
I thought it was just 20 minutes.
Nah, I was like, we was hopping from forgiveness to, what else we talk about?
What did we start off on?
We started on idols,
Idols, forgiveness, and then Gatorade, and then
the living water.
I
Living water.
I guess unforgiveness could be idol.
Hold on. Hold on.
I'm saying.
let's just
Hold on.
wait a minute. Let's take that back. Because when I tell y'all, I feel like we live in a generation where people pride themselves on being so nonchalant and like being so unforgiving and like being so, outside. I don't care about nobody. This and the third. Y'all are
idolizing it. That's all it is. You gotta keep telling people, like, all right, okay.
You don't got to keep
Okay,
posting
tough
it.
guy. I don't need nobody. Okay, brother.
I'm better off alone.
Calm down, Jamal.
Yeah, like,
Relax.
Pull out the knife. Not like people, they be like, and like, that's the thing too, though. Sometimes whenever people, like, that's why I ask this question on my story a lot. What do you feel like is holding you back from God? Or like, why don't you want to go towards God? And I feel like a lot of people, they're like, oh, because like everything that I've seen has shown me that there isn't a God. Or like, I've just seen nothing but bad, so I'm going to harvest on that. I'm like, you don't want better? Like, you have no hope that there could be something better. Like, I feel like people that harness that idolizing of unforgiveness or idolizing being cold-hearted or just putting out bad. I'm like, so you don't ever want to feel better. Not even just be better for others. I'm like, just in yourself, when you're by yourself in your room late at night, you don't ever want to feel whole. because there's nothing else that's going to make you not forgiving this person as much as it like satisfies you. Ignoring this person is not going to make you feel better. Like I guarantee you.
You're just gonna be more irritated around them.
You're
and at that point, if you can't come around without feeling a certain type of way, they have control over you. They have control over you.
You're convicting me, Mom.
Yeah, I'm being for real. That's being real. Like going back to the story with Jesus. If every time Jesus saw Judas, he was just so irritated. At that point, Judas has control over Jesus in a way. For you to feel that, you got to feel that much. Like, come around and be yourself. Like Jesus, I'm still Jesus. I'm gonna come around and be around him, and
Relax.
I'm gonna let you regardless.
I'm gonna still love you. Judas is not stopping nothing I got going on.
He thought he was.
I know the plans that God has for me.
Bro, that's literally like I feel like that's what kept Jesus going. Cause the stuff that he was going through, I know that it was hard. Like I know that it was extremely hard. So I feel like him just knowing my Father knows what's best for me.
First of all, I can't even imagine going through what he went through. Which is why, like, everything that we go through is not even scratching the surface of what he went through, what he had to deal with, what he had to sacrifice. Like, who am I to complain?
Who am I to complain? It's like what I'm going through is bad. Yeah, but at the end of the day, I know that there's someone out there going through 10 times worse. Like no matter, like regardless of what we go through, I feel like there's always that little window of light that we can choose to go through versus just sitting in that room full of darkness. There's that window of light that we can just choose, and then we're like, you know what? There's something better out here. There is a better mindset, and I feel like a lot of non-Christians, they don't understand this. Like I go through this on my TikTok all the time, right? They're like, oh, so your life must be like this, your life, da-da-da. My circumstances, I'm not even gonna lie, have actually, well, they were really, really bad at one point. But when I was at my lowest, that was when I felt my closest to Christ. So I'm like, I feel like people, dang, I kind of got thrown off track.
My fault, gang.
Sorry, da-da-da. You good.
Whoever that was, it just called.
A bot.
A bot. They're banned.
Man's for real. No. Like, I was saying, I feel like people expect Christians to just have this perfect life because we do know Christ. I'm like, no, we just have a better mindset, so it makes our situations easier. Like, our life doesn't get easy just because we know God. We get through it easier because we know that there's a way out. I feel like Christ offers that way out, but without it, we just sit in it. And, like, I think people don't understand when Christ leads you through something, they miss that word through. You're going to go through it, but you're going to see the end of it as well.
And I feel like it's also... Yes. To go along with what you just said, I feel like, when you don't know God, you're going to go through situations and everything, have the same feelings and everything. And when you do know God, you may have the same feeling towards it, but you knowing God and have a relationship with God will give you the way to get through it.
You know, like...
It'll give you the route to go. It'll give you the audible to play.
Man, like, well...
The skill set to get past this obstacle.
Yeah. The blueprint. Yeah, because it's like, literally, I don't know about anybody else, but, like, I don't have trust in a lot of physical things, but I have like my whole 100% trust is in this. So I'm like, if God told me that his word is true, that his son is true, so if he tells me that he'll never leave me, that there's always a way out through him, that he will order my steps if I put him first, I don't have to rely on anything else. So like I feel like that's that little window of light that true Christians do have versus people that's on the outside looking in. They like, me and you both broke, or my life. Hold on. Some people without God, right? They're like, well, my life is better than yours. Like, let's say if you were a, like, 100% 10 toes down Christian and you're broke, homeless, or whatever. Someone who has all this money, who has never prayed a day in their life, they're living good, got food on the table, cars. They're like, well, what has God done for you? I'm like, I don't think anyone has ever sat back and really asked themselves, the devil can keep you in a comfortable space so that you will never need God.
You're in a jail cell and you don't even know it.
You are in a jail cell and you don't even know it until that door slams. And then you're done, baby. Like, you're done. Like, I was like, the devil probably won't let you fall because he knows once you fall, I feel like everyone knows of God. Like, there's no one on this earth that doesn't know of God. And I think that they all have this, I don't even want to say firm foundation, but they all have this common understanding. When I have nothing else, then I know I can at least try God.
That's crazy to think about because think about all the people that don't believe in God but know to pray when something's going wrong.
They know to... When somebody's in the hospital,
they be contradicting themselves.
No, bro, the contradiction is crazy.
But they will go a day in their lives never praying, never reading a page in the Bible. And as soon as they pray, and if God don't answer that prayer, all of a sudden God ain't real.
That one time you prayed.
I'm like, weren't you just praying to the universe before this?
Oh, that's
Like,
crazy.
go
No
to
cap.
you.
That's crazy work. No cap.
I'm like, how you gonna blame God? You were just with the universe.
Oh, but they
Blame the
Switch
universe.
sides.
quick
Blame
to
the
blame
universe.
God,
Switching
boy.
sides,
I hate
bro.
when people blame God.
I hate people.
They, for real, they be like, my grandma died. God didn't do this. I'm like, bro, come on. But she died of natural cause. Like,
Yeah, like
for
it's
real,
not
I'm
like
trying
she
to be funny.
Nah,
Like,
yeah,
like
facts.
she's
oh,
old.
sit here
Like-
and blame God for every single thing that happens. Like, bro, that I hate it. Like, it be annoying. It's like, sometimes life just happens.
Some life is still
Life
gonna
just
life.
happens.
Everybody has free will, bro. You cannot control what happens, who does what. None of that. Like,
I'm not even gonna lie. I feel like death pulls a lot of people away from God too. Like I feel like whenever people suffer a death in the family, they're left stuck with that. Oh well, she was a good person, or like he was a good person. God, why would you do this? Why would you do this? And like they take that, run with it their whole life. They're like, oh well, God took this person away from me, so I'll never do this and the third. Just like I said it on the last episode that I was in, I lost my sister, but I never thought that way. You know, like I feel like when something detrimental happens, God leaves you with two choices.
Come closer.
He's like, you can either, go to me and even ask me questions, or you can just stray away from me and like even when my sister did pass, I wasn't like a full devout Christian.
Yeah.
But I was like, if my sister was a good person, I was like, I know God didn't do this bad thing intentionally. And I just thought about it as in like this person was too good for this world and God was just bringing them home. I feel like whenever life happens, they blame God and they take it so personal instead of like actually like looking at the bigger picture and zooming out and understanding maybe what was about to happen next within your family or like within your life. Maybe that person couldn't handle it, or maybe it wasn't meant for that person to be around for, or maybe they weren't supposed to see it. I feel like people blame God for, yes, he can't control it, but at the end of the day, we don't really sit back and appreciate God's will. So,
that's facts.
sorry.
You was about to say something? I think like you.
Nah,
yeah,
nah,
that's it.
No, you look, you
No, I'm good. Straight.
Dang, y'all done said a mouthful, didn't y'all?
It's a
Yeah.
good one.
Are we good?
We did touch a lot though.
We did, because we were just hopping from topic to topic to topic. And like I said, I don't want to talk about too much because I don't want to get canceled.
Ah.
Nah, it's gonna be a day where we tap into that for sure.
Let's a
Save
few
it
months. A few more months.
Few
out.
months.
We'll say it for
Can't be
later.
scared to get canceled.
Give
bro.
me some time.
We ain't scared to speak God's word now. We gonna stand 10 toes. But I think that's a wrap for this one. Y'all good? Y'all got any
I'm
more?
good,
Got
I'm
anything
good.
left in the tank?
I'm
Any more ammo?
I'm gonna say the clip. Save it for next time.
My boy didn't get everything he had on that last episode. I came in. Marlon was like, so we not gonna have
Wildin'.
one. Yeah, I was like, it's okay. I understand.
Well, before we get out of here, Lo, what's one thing that you want to leave the viewers with that you've learned so far in your walk with Christ, or anything that you learned from anything you've been reading recently that you can give them any game, any gems, anything that's been helping you out with reading your word, whatever it is?
One thing that I feel like is a constant, like, not even like blueprint, but just something that I always need to remember, and I think a lot of people can benefit from it. When life gets hard, don't run away from the one thing that can really save you. When life starts to life, go to God, regardless of however that looks for you. If it's just praying for maybe like once a day or twice a day and like once again the other day, or reading one page of your Bible, just don't leave God out of that equation when you're going through something tough.
Mm-hmm. That's good. What about you, Marlon? Any gems, motivation, quote, whatever?
I would just say find community, fellowship, accountability. I think that would help you on your walk with Christ as far as reading, praying, and just having people to keep you up to date if you don't know where to start. You know what I'm saying? Find some friends who are more mature than you in their relationship with Christ, and they can help you. It's okay to ask for help. You don't got to look at it like it's just you and God. So that's all I would say. And it's okay to look stuff up
Facts.
too. When I don't know what I want to read, I'll look it up on Google, and that's how I've gotten more knowledge. Like, okay, this story's about this. I'm gonna look it up. Okay, where is this story based at? Okay,
Facts.
then I'm gonna go in my Bible and find it. So it's okay to look it up, look stuff up, and ask for help. So yeah,
Let's go, my boy.
Can I just ask y'all viewers a question? Okay. Like, I feel like when you go home, like I want y'all to actually like sit down and really think about this. I feel like critically thinking has really improved my relationship with God and understanding of how like the world works. I want y'all to sit back and ask yourselves what's really holding you back from giving your 100% to God. Like, what's in the middle of holding back your life from really giving it to God? Like, why won't you submit? And y'all don't got to comment or nothing. Just ask yourself
Yeah,
that.
no cap though.
Just
That's
ask
a
yourself
good question.
that.
And I also want to give for those that's dealing with unforgiveness, write down on a sticky note, your whiteboard, make it your phone screen, whatever it is, the simple saying of what would Jesus do. So keep looking at it, keep reading it, keep practicing it until you make it something that you live by. And I bet you your life will change. So,
and send this episode to somebody who may be struggling with that also. You know what I'm saying? Tell them to lock in.
Matter of fact, send it to everybody you know that's dealing with unforgiveness.
Just tell them watch it. You ain't got to say nothing. Be like, tune into the episode. Don't even say nothing about
Tell
it.
them watch the whole thing and test them on it too. Be like, so what did you learn from it?
Yeah.
But
send me the notes.
Listen, no cap. We appreciate
y'all.
y'all for tuning in. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. Like Marlon said, send it to a friend. Lauren, you want to drop them your social?
Y'all can follow me on TikTok at Daily Dose of Low. Y'all can also follow me on Instagram at Lauryn Anita.
Yes, Lord. You want to drop yours?
More Purpose Pod, baby.
Come on now. You know the vibes. We appreciate y'all. Y'all be safe. Love always.
Love.
More purpose.